Hello everyone and welcome back to my opinion. In this video, I'll be looking back on the India vs Ireland series and suggesting what went wrong for India. Let's get into this review. And my first thing would be, I think Tilak Verma's batting position is incorrect. And we've seen that looking at the top four is Abhishek Sharma, Sanju Samson, Ishan Kishan, Shreya Sen. And three out of those, so apart from Abhishek Sharma, I've said this before, they've got a weakness to the seaming ball. And that's why, for example, for Shreya Sen, I've said he should not bat within the first 4 overs of a T20 match. And the first match, a lot of the dismissals were lax, and you saw in two cases Sanju Samson has been dismissed by Jay Mundra, and especially in the IPL as well, when the ball has been seeing around the start in some cases, they have looked to dismiss it in that fashion, especially caught behind in this match. In this series, he was dismissed bold. So to reduce the one-dimensional nature of the top four, three out of the top four, I've said Tilak Verma should bat in his position, which is number 3. We've seen that he's someone who takes a bit of time and then unleashes, and we've seen a few of those innings when he's had to bat earlier for Mumbai, but he's still been playing in that number 5 role, and that's not his position. And if he hadn't scored a quick strike rate, a high strike rate there, then people criticize him. I think he also in the India A Tri-Series, he scored at about, let's say, for 90 deliveries, he scored about 60 runs. It's a different format. I think that if he bats at number 3 in T20s, he would be consistent, and he's someone who can break the one-dimensional nature of the top 4. Abhishek Sharma doesn't have a technical weakness, but he looks to play aggressively. But the other 3 do not like the seeing ball early on. Tilak Verma is someone who can sort of break that one-dimensionality. And then, before I move on to the rest of the points, there's been talk about Vaibhav Sooryavanshi not getting a match in this series. And I've said this before, where in the preview I'd said, I don't think he is going to be played in this series. And because you've got the T20 World Cup top 3, Abhishek Sharma, Sanju Samson, and Ishan Kishan, and unless they don't do well, unless one of the openers don't do well, you can't bring in Vaibhav Sooryavanshi. Abhishek Sharma, after the T20 World Cup final, he scored in the IPL, scored a 50 in the first match. Sanju Samson scored in the T20 World Cup and in the IPL. He didn't score in 2 matches here. So are you going to drop those 2 straight away? No. So that's the reason why if they don't do well in the England series, maybe you can drop the one who doesn't do well, bring Vaibhav Sooryavanshi. But at this point in time, I don't think you can drop those 2. So calling up Vaibhav Sooryavanshi to the squad is a correct decision, but I don't think you can drop one of the openers as of now. And next, the role of Washington Sundar in the team, where in all formats, his roles is where he doesn't know when he will bowl, when he will bat, how many overs he will bowl. And it's been going on for many years. It's also been going on for his IPL team as well. Granted, when you get an opportunity, you've got to do well. And I think he was sent out number 5 in the batting order in the first match, and it didn't go well for him. But I think the start of something for Washington Sundar is that he has got to be given a consistent role where I think at times, especially about tests and ODIs, and he's also a good T20 batsman according to me, where in conditions where you want to shield some of the others, you can send out Washington Sundar and he can do well for you. But I think where he doesn't know where he's going to be used and how many overs he's going to bowl, and especially bring him on that late and goes for 19 runs, then the 16th over is brought on, I thought it was unfair on him. So the consistency at which he is used, I think, would dictate as to what value you can try the team. I think he's a very good player, but he's got to be given a run in sort of a stable position. And Dubey is not a lower order batsman. We've seen in the 2 IPL seasons when he's batted lower down the order, it hasn't gone well for him. It went well, I thought, against the norm in the T20 World Cup. And here he's batting at number 7, and I don't think it's the correct slot for him. So before, he was the one who was a spin hitter. For some reason, they're sending Akshar Patel ahead of him. And apart from a couple of matches in the IPL, he's not been doing all with the bat. And he's someone who's only sort of proficient against spin. We want fast bowlers bowl not have the same effect, so I think Dubey has got to bat higher up the order. Reddy, I thought including him in the team is going to be a question mark, is because when everyone returns, Hardik Pandya 5, Rinku Singh number 6, I thought he should have been in the squad. Where is Shivam Dubey going to play? He only bat number 6 in this squad. So I think that maybe batting out of position, I don't know how they'll play that. They've not played it so well in these 2 matches. And they've also included Suryan Shekhdar. Now, I think if you're looking at the fast bowling all-rounder options for India, they've been Nitish Kumar Reddy, where I don't think there's a technical fault in his action. He's not been bowling much either. And I think the reason why, given he's not been playing much, the reason why I think he's been getting injured is because I've said this before, the training in between matches, they've got to regulate that. And I think the overtraining may cause the injury. Hardik Pandya is also not bowling much. And for India and T20s, he doesn't get batting much either. So I also think the overtraining has caused an injury there. So you've got the two main fast bowling all-rounders. Then you've got Chiram Dubey and then Suryan Chegde just because he can bowl some medium pace, 120 kph, and you give him batting at number 8. I don't understand that selection at all. Just because I'm not saying that he's a bad player, he's a good player, but at this point in time, you're selecting him just because he can bowl a couple of overs and can finish a match at the end. When I think you've got to look at the players you have and make sure they're durable first before selecting someone just because he fits that sort of broad category. So that is on that. So far, I think those are the sort of the talking points that India should have improved on the series. But I also think Prasidh Krishna, first match of 57 runs, and we've seen across formats, he's been going at 4 and over even in Test cricket. And that's the reason why you've got many other options. The second match, I think they played Prince Yadav instead of him in the second match, and he didn't do that badly. So if the lengths that he hits are not adjusted, I think especially in the last over, the pace was also down. One delivery was at 91 kph, and I thought there was something wrong with the speed gun. He's been missing his lengths, and if that doesn't change, I think they've got to include the other options. And I'll be mentioning this name a lot, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, where they've moved on from him. They're saying age, they're saying the pace is reduced, but when the skill level is there, I think he's good enough to make this squad and play in all formats for India. So that's on that. And that'll be the first T20I between England and India starting tomorrow. Let's see what happens. If you enjoy this video, please subscribe, share with friends. This is my opinion.